Hey there, Joe DiSanto here. Thanks for joining me in this video about personal bookkeeping software. So if you look at my YouTube channel, you probably see that I do a lot of videos about Quicken because that's the one I use. I've been using it for like 25 years, and I'll explain in this video why I think it's the best option. But I'm going to talk about some of the other ones that I've heard about. I don't care what you use. Just use some computerized software to make sure that you are keeping track of your funds. Let's start with Mint. So I'm going to give you a little background on Mint. Back in the day, before the internet, when I got my first software, I actually had to go to Staples to get it. And back then, there were really like three options. It was Quicken, it was Microsoft Money, and there was a program called Mint. Mint kind of went away. At some point, a few shakeups happened. Let me explain some big picture stuff. So the company Intuit, which makes QuickBooks, they used to make Quicken as well. So, and if you ever use QuickBooks Desktop and Quicken, you would see that there's a lot of similarities in the software. I'm sure they used a lot of the same code to make those two things. And they were both database, local database file programs in the beginning. QuickBooks was the business side of Intuit's product, and Quicken was the personal finance side. About 5 or 6 years ago, Intuit sold off Quicken to a private equity firm, and Quicken now is its standalone company, which I think is actually a good thing. It's not small. I think it's got about 300 employees, and it's continued to go strong as a company. They're improving the products. I'll talk about that. Somewhere along the line before that, Intuit bought the brand Mint, that original program I think I mentioned from way back when, and they took what is now their QuickBooks Online business software and did an offshoot of that and called it Mint. And so, Intuit is essentially trying to move all of their business, customers, in my opinion, over to QuickBooks Online, which is a completely web-based software. They, I assume, scarfed some of the code of that, made a personal finance version, called it Mint, and those are Intuit's two products now. So Intuit offers QuickBooks for businesses, Mint for personal finances, and Quicken is a separate company just with its own software. Somewhere along the line, again, Mint bought Credit Karma, which is a service I like. It's a free service to check your credit report. And it's free because they try to sell you stuff like, every other page. And Mint is actually the same. It is free also, which makes it compelling. But within Mint, they're always trying to sell you stuff, whether it's a mortgage, a bank account, or whatever. So I guess Intuit very recently decided to retire the brand Mint, and they're sort of merging their personal finance product into Credit Karma. And you'll also go out there and notice that Experian has a little bit of a personal finance management software as part of their thing, probably TransUnion too. So the Mint product, and I'm assuming the new Credit Karma version is going to be just very similar, is pretty good. I mean, it's web-based, it's free, you get your net worth, you can do lots of things. You can track some of your real estate, net worth, all that sort of stuff. It's fine. I don't like it because it's not very flexible. Like, I can't really customize it a lot. Over the years, I've, come up with my own sort of special ways of doing things that I like, and I have found that Quicken is very customizable. So that's Mint. Good price, good product, all web-based. I know the kids like that. Whenever I tell someone under, 35 that Quicken you have to install on your computer, they freak out, and lose their minds. So, if you're millennial or under, you might have to go with Mint just from like a personal philosophy point of view. CountAbout is a product I found because Quicken offers a kind of wide range of lines, and the most beneficial version of Quicken for me is the Windows version, which is kind of a funny thing. I'll talk a little bit about that now when I get to Quicken. So I went looking around to see if I could find a product at some point that was just Mac-based that did everything I wanted, that the Windows version does. I guess I'll jump in here and say the reason I like the Windows version is because only on Windows does Quicken offer home and business, and I have my own consulting corp, and I like to be able to do invoicing and have AP and AR, and Quicken doesn't offer those functions in the Mac version. So I went looking for a Mac product that maybe did that. I found CountAbout. It didn't do that. It didn't do as much as Quicken did, so I never decided to try it. I almost thought about leaving Quicken, but I guess I wasn't ready, you know? So CountAbout, I think, is a decent option. It's about like $10 a month if you buy it annually, so $100 annually. I'm finding that when I go look at the pricing today for a lot of these things, it's all about the same. Mint's free because they sell you stuff, so if they're not on the advertising model, the pricing model is similar. YNAB's about $100 a year. Full Quicken's about $100 a year, but you can get a cheaper version if you don't go for the home and business and all that stuff. You can actually, it will be cheaper. It could be as low as $30 a year. If you do their simpler web-based version, I think it's like $3 a month. Right? So that's $36 a year. So CountAbout, I can't say that it's good or not. I just can say it didn't do as much as Quicken did, and so I didn't really investigate it further. YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget, is a software, I believe, that it evolved really from like a series of Excel spreadsheets kind of budgeting program into more of a full software program. A lot of people hit me up because they see my videos about Quicken, and a few people have said, I've been using YNAB, but it doesn't do as much as I want it to do. It seems Quicken might, and they'll always, they'll hit me up with a question on a YouTube video or whatever. That's really all I can say about YNAB. I don't know much about it as well either because I don't use it. But I went on the website over here and let's see, the pricing was like $8.25 a month or $99 paid annually. If you pay monthly, $15. And just from looking online, it looks like they have a mobile app. It looks like possibly it's a web-based thing. I'm not even sure if it is. It may or may not be. But I've also read that it's more budgeting centric as opposed to like a full-fledged thing. Moving on down the line, Empower, which used to be called Personal Capital, is a free web-based tool as well. Now, what Empower did, Empower actually is a financial management firm. So in my opinion, in my estimation of what they did, is they created a web-based financial management software to be a lead generator for the wealth management side of the business. And it became very popular because, in my opinion, honestly, they paid a pretty good affiliate commission. And so a lot of influencers and YouTubes and bloggers push it. I made my own video on Personal Capital. For a free product, they didn't advertise you. I thought of it as kind of an alternative to Mint. It was a free web-based product. They didn't necessarily pressure you to sign up. I signed up and tried it out. And, if you don't want to get too deep in personal finance, see your net worth, track your income and expenses. I think you can even put your house in there and add that to your net worth. I thought it was a pretty good product for free, as long as they didn't pressure you too much to sell you other things. At one point, it looked like they actually ditched financial management software. My guess at that time was because they're probably like, this is too much hassle to to maintain. But it seems like it's back on the Empower website. Take control of your finances as a free budget planner. So maybe it's a little bit trimmed down. I don't know. I haven't used it in a couple years since it was Personal Capital. But, the Mint thing, it just, the constant ads and selling stuff, it's just really annoying. Honestly, I use QuickBooks, for all my business clients. And you pay a lot for QuickBooks. And they're constantly hitting you with just like upsells and this and that in there, and just it's annoying. But I digress. So on to the last of the five, which obviously I've been referring to in throughout the video here, is Quicken. Now, Quicken has been around the longest, ultimately, at this point. The reason I like Quicken is, one, I started using it a long time ago, and once you start, you have all this historic data in there. You don't really want to stop, but Quicken uniquely offered kind of an extra layer, pushing the personal finance software up to what I would call a professional bookkeeping software. And For people that are consultants or have businesses where they're the sole owner, I don't think you can beat Quicken because it allows you to track your business finances, your personal finances. It allows you, if you're using the Windows version, allows you to do invoicing, so AP and AR, and track that in this one software. Then beyond, your bank accounts and credit cards for your business personal, you can have your investment accounts in there. I mean, most of these will allow you to have your investment accounts. But the difference with Quicken investment accounts is Quicken, you can choose to set it up a couple of ways on the investment front, but you can literally have what I call transactional level detail on your investment account. So if there's a stock split, it's going to actually show that in there. If you have an option, you can track it correctly in there, and you can do a lot of really valuable analysis, on your stocks in Quicken to a greater degree than you can often do even on the websites of the brokerage houses themselves. Now, you could debate that issue because I don't know every brokerage website, and I use multiple brokerages. So for me, what ends up happening is, like, even if the brokerage website is awesome and does everything, which many of them do most of what you would ever need, if I want to aggregate all of my brokerages and my crypto into a full analysis, and essentially look at my investments as a total asset allocation, I can't do that on any one website. I can't do every account on Fidelity's website or this website or that website. But in Quicken, I can bring it all together and look at it as a whole and make more holistic decisions about asset allocation, diversification, risk tolerance, and those sorts of things. So, on the investment, on the brokerage and investment account front, while you can, bring brokerage accounts into your net worth and see a certain amount of detail in any of those other programs, I don't think you're going to have the level of detail and analysis that you would have otherwise. Now, that may be meaningless to a lot of people because they're just like, I don't want to spend my time just looking at my stocks or whatever. But I'm a hobbyist, I'm a personal finance enthusiast. So I like to spend time looking at these things and educating myself on finance and stocks and investing and doing the analysis and learning, so it's always been something that I've appreciated. Beyond that, you can track your real estate. If you do rentals, whatever kind of real estate investments you can track your real estate very well in Quicken also. And you can do it in a variety of ways. There's multiple ways you can do any one thing at Quicken, so you can really customize the way it works for your brain and what you think makes sense, where most of these other programs are going to be much more, I think, limited in the way you can set them up. So I have endless videos about Quicken on YouTube. If you want to dive deeper, my YouTube channel is the place for that. Quicken also now offers a completely web-based thing. So if you cut back to what I was saying originally about Intuit owning QuickBooks and Quicken at one point, and they were both desktop programs, Quicken is still essentially a desktop installed database file software. What they're calling it Quicken Classic now. Now, that said, the company is slowly kind of trying to bridge the gap over to being a web-based product. So what they've done for now is you can work on your computer with a local database file, but you can sync all of your data to a portal that you can access from a web browser or from your phone, and accessing from those portals allows you to do nearly everything you can do on the desktop. So my opinion is they're slowly working on taking Quicken over to be a fully web-based program at some point, but they're kind of going slowly, and I don't know more than that about it. I like to do this stuff on my desktop. I wouldn't want to do any of it on my phone, so I don't, or my tablet. I don't care because I have a lot that I kind of manage, honestly, and doing it on a phone would be hard. But, the phone app is cool because you could scan, you could snap a receipt and attach it to a transaction. You can do a few cool things that sometimes I take advantage of. I keep talking about this Windows Home and Business Edition. So for whatever reason, they've only had this Windows Home and Business Edition on a PC for now. Just recently, they have released a Home and Business Edition for Mac. Finally. And I was like super pumped because I was like, oh, maybe I can get rid of Parallels, and because I actually run Parallels on my Mac so I can run the PC program. I don't mind that though because I have a couple other PC programs, I want to run anyway. But I went and looked quickly at the Mac business, home and business, and I didn't see invoicing like AR or AP. So without that, it's really not any different, than the other Mac versions, which are like Premier and Beginner. So Quicken does have, again, most of its product line on Mac and PC, but this one home business version was only on PC for a long time. Looks like they're solving that too now, so we'll see what comes of it. But hey, Quicken, if you're listening, without accounts payable and accounts receivable, there's not that much benefit. Beyond the desktop, or what they call Quicken Classic, Quicken also now offers Simplifi. So Simplifi is less expensive. It's $4 a month. I think annually it's a little bit cheaper. And it's completely web-based, and I think it's probably going to be more comparative to like an Empower setup or even Mint, where it just doesn't have like the depth that Quicken Classic has. But it probably has what 80% of the world probably wants, or is willing to do on their personal finance front. So anyway, that's what I have to say about what I know about programs that are out there. I haven't, test driven all of them in any great detail, but hopefully this video is helpful for you nonetheless. And I will catch you in another video. Thanks so much.